Hi friends, Jill back with another episode of Cooking with a Side of Murder. I feel like delayed because my vertigo acted back up while I was training in class, and I'm just exhausted all the time. I made the doctor call me in an antibiotic, so it's working. What's funny is my little wiener dog, Mutt, also has an ear infection in the same ear that's giving him vertigo. So, but I wanted to finish up the main ones of my Texas murders. And I want to do something quick. Like, I'm not really hungry. I've not been eating a lot. And I don't know if it's just, who knows. But I wanted to make something quick that I like. And I stole. It's everywhere. You could get on Pinterest and find this one. But this is their Keto Pickles. I really like pickles. And I like fried pickles, but this one is cheese, seasonings, and pickles, so I'm going to make that. And I'm going to tell you about the last one of the main 4 of the Texas murders. This one is Yolanda Moya. So, I'm going to give you a little background while I try out these pickles. These are just hamburger dill chips. That's it. I'm going to do 12 of them. I should probably actually grease it first. But, so, this one is another one that I came across. This says it was a gunshot wound. Which this one, actually, we'll get to it. So, Yolanda Moya. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm very sorry. She was just 33, which is how old I am. So, this one, kind of messed with me a little. So she worked as a bookkeeper at Barbie Nemus Implement Company, which was a local farm supply store where she had worked for 12 years. And she was always on time for work. She would always call if there was something that did come up. So on January 22nd of 1993, it raised concern when she just didn't show up. Her boss was so worried that he called her mother, who then called her brother, and the boss and the brother then decided to meet at her house to, go check on her, which is good. If you're a loyal employee, then that's always nice when your boss wants to check on you. I'm going to figure out these camera angles one day. So right now I'm just taking these pickles. I'm going to, how far back can I move this without, oh, that one works too. So I'm going to put them on this paper towel. So we're going to do 12 of them. So, like I said, her boss called her, I love pickles, her brother, and they met at her house. So, the last time anybody had talked to her was at 10 p.m. the night before, which she had talked to her brother, Robert, and they had planned to watch a late movie, but she said, I'm tired. It happens. Which happens. So, some things about what they came across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I already have the oven preheating to 350. I lost count. My ADD is also not my friend these days. Vertigo and ADD aren't a good combination. I recommend it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13. We're going to make the smallest one. Sorry, buds. So, I'm going to dry these off. So, I usually put my hair up, but it's just me. It was 8:30 a.m. when they arrived. No. It was 8:30 a.m. when they arrived. So, there was a contained fire burning in her living room. And they weren't sure how or when it was started. But it was also the only room in the house that was set on fire. Her brother stated that the front door was hot to the touch, but it was unlocked. And due to the amount of smoke in the house, the brother didn't initially see her as running. So they got to the house. House looked fine. Didn't look like there were any issues or anything. until her brother gets to the door and goes to touch it, and it's hot to the touch, which you would think, okay, something's not right in there. Her brother, since there was so much smoke, her brother kept running in and out of the house because he couldn't breathe. Thank you for telling me you're preheated. I appreciate you. Looking for her. And once he noticed her, he called the fire department. His biggest concern was finding his sister, which would be anybody's biggest concern. So, this is 8:30 in the morning. The neighbors were unaware of anything until the fire department showed up. Also, they didn't hear or see anything strange before except the sound of her dogs barking. And you couldn't see any smoke coming out of the house until the front door was open. I did find this location on Google Earth. The houses are pretty close together. I mean, not like they're a good amount apart, but hers was right there on the corner. So I've got Colby Jack cheese. I've already greased my cupcake tin, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'll show you. So fill them. We're not filling them. You're going to put a layer on the bottom. And then I always feel like I put too much or not enough. These are really good. And I've seen a lot of people use different things for these. A lot of people use everything bagel seasoning, but I feel like the sesame seeds would mess with my gastritis. So I just don't mess with them. So they should like this. And then you take your dried off pickles and stick them in there. I'll show you what they look like. These are simple to make. And as someone who likes fried pickles, but the grease from the pickles, like from fried pickles, from being deep fried, even in the, that is a fire truck. That's weird. So they look like this. But even the grease from the pickles and stuff just messes with my gastritis and I can't. So I'm going to take some garlic powder. And I like paprika in them. And like I said, again, it's just me. And I also do a little oregano. And I'm just going to top those with it. So, let's do that right now. Take some oregano. I like to take it in my hand and just, because I don't want it like overkill of it. Just enough for taste. And I do them on the pickles. I've tried mixing them in with the cheese and the seasoning just falls out. So, just to get that flavor of it, I'll put them in it. And then I'm going to flip the pickles over. Just so, yeah, I'm actually, I feel like I do it differently every time I make these. I'm going to put the other stuff on them and then I'm going to do the other side. And I'll just do this. Just a little, just to taste. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to figure out this angle one day. And then paprika, just little dusts of paprika. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. And then I'm going to flip all the pickles over and do it again. Do it again. You didn't get any paprika, friend. Paprika is a very underrated spice. Believe it or not. These are how I like to do it. Just so that they get seasoned. So, a few facts about Yolanda. She was found face up on the couch, semi-clothed. And her head and torso were badly burned. When I was researching this, I came across two versions. One said that when they found her, I can't read. Give me 1 second. While I was researching this one, I came across two versions on how they found her. when they arrived. One was that she was actively on fire, and the other one that she was not. Both of them sound awful, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I like to wish inconvenient things on my enemies, you know, like all the batteries in their house die. You know, or they trip over their shoelaces. You know, not deadly things, because that's sick. And then I'm going to do a little paprika. Paprika is an underrated spice. It really is. We just do a little, just for the flavor. Okay. And then I'm going to top these with some more cheese. Cheese. I feel like cheese makes the world go round, right? So this is what they look like right now. And let's top them with some cheese. And I feel like cheese can go either way. I use the Colby Jack because it's just the best. And I've realized buying the big bags of cheese. I don't eat a lot of cheese for the most part, but like this one's the best. And it's all plastic, right? All plastic cheese. Cheese is the one thing I haven't found an alternative for that works for me, that doesn't make me sick. So we're stuck with the cheese for a while. Okay. And then some for me. Okay. So you put these in 10 minutes at 350. I've been wallpapering, so my dining room's a disaster right now. I'll be done with this part before I get to the one part, so it's fine. Okay, let's talk some more about Yolanda, who while researching just seemed like a sweet person, and I don't understand how this happened, but we'll talk about it. There was a puncture near her neck that they were initially not sure if it was from stabbing or a gunshot. And it was later determined to be a gunshot wound, which is why I said this one was a gunshot. She was shot one time before the fire was started, and had some bruising. There didn't appear to be anything stolen from the house, and there was no signs of forced injury. The police were able to determine that Yolanda was covered with gasoline and then lit on fire. And she also had one gunshot wound under the chin, so it was like down towards this area. But they did find a shell casing at the scene. So, just some facts about Yolanda, because this one, it seemed like it just rocked the whole community. She was in the prime of her life. She was 33. Her brother said that everyone loved her. She had a routine where she would go to work, then come home, watch some videotapes of the soap opera from that day. God, y'all remember when we used to record before TiVo? We had to record everything and watch it. I used to do it with wrestling and soap operas. I hope it was Passions. That was a good one. She had saved money for 12 years. So she worked that same job for 12 years to buy the lot that her house was on, and had just built her dream home. This was her dream home, and moved in 2 months prior. Several of her neighbors stated they hadn't even met her. So I'm assuming she lived alone, since every account said that she was single. Doesn't mean she lived alone, but I didn't hear of any roommate or anything like that. Her family stated that they and her friends would visit quite often. And the house was located at the end of the South Louisiana Avenue in Weslaco, Texas. Which, if you look it up on Google Earth, there is a big empty spot next to it. Like it's right on the corner of this avenue. So someone could have gotten away without being noticed, because the way the houses are set up is that there's like you could almost put a small house in the little lot next to it. I don't know if there was one at the time, but it's right there at the end to where it's a pretty decent yard, and then it's, of course, I'm the weirdo that has to look up things because I want to know how people got away with things. I mean, and the houses are still pretty close together. But, I don't know, this one's weird. There were no witnesses to this one. They do have DNA, and as of 2013, the son of the original detective was going to test the DNA technology, since, DNA technology has improved since 93. So the detective, Pelmanton, if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry, has been going through everything that they did and reaching out to the public to see if they can finally resolve this case. I did find a couple, most articles that I found were just the same thing repeated over and over again, which are with most of these. I do have a couple articles that are linked at the bottom of this article, but I wanted to show you a picture of her. Like, gorgeous woman, absolutely gorgeous. Has that not right out of the 90s hair. Love it. I love to see it. But just looks so happy. Looks like she has just such a good vibe. And somebody, I don't know. There aren't any witnesses for this one. The only thing I can think of is that where everybody did love her, that maybe somebody knocked on her door at night, or that morning even, and she just let them in. I didn't find any bad things about this woman, which is sad, not in a, whatever way, but that she had just built her dream home. She had saved money, and this happens. And it bothers me that a lot of things, a lot of murders happen this way, to where there are no suspects or anything. But I will finish these. This one is my last Texas murder that I've got like a bunch of information on. The next episode I'm going to do is 3 Texas murders that are unsolved but are possibly linked, and then I've got a list of the rest of the Texas murders that there's not a lot of information on. And I actually have another one that I found. I watched Cold Cases on Hulu, and there's one that is very reminiscent of one of the ones I can't find a whole lot of stuff on. So I may do that one as well, just to kind of round it all out of my Texas Murder Rabbit Hole. But yeah, so I'll have this posted. Me and the pickles are going to wait for the other pickles to be fried. Let me know what you think. Comments, feedback's always welcome. Any murder you want me to cover. Any food you want me to make. I'm having a real hard time with foods. Like, I went through my fridge food on the internet to try to... I know I have some ideas, but, I like to try things before I make them. So, yeah. These will be done in 3 minutes. And I'll show you what those look like. Yes. I won't make you wait. But also, I'll be back in 1 second. 1 minute and 3 minutes. Okay, I took them out. They look like this. I'm going to let them sit for a couple minutes before I pull them out, because they're really hot right now. And then you just... I'll show you what I do with them. So I'm going to let them sit for a couple minutes. I'm also impatient, so we'll see how it goes. Okay. I've let them set for like 10 minutes while I took the trash out. I wash my hands. So look. Delectable these are. I've tried these with breadcrumbs, which defeats the point of it being keto. That one's thick. But I'll usually eat like 4 of these at a time, and then not touch anything for a while. But then I take All But Faithful, Hillary Val. I just tried to combine Hidden and Valley. There's a guy on TikTok that's going to be real mad at me. Hidden Valley Ranch. And then I just kind of, just a little drizzle. That's it. That's it. Gonna take a picture of them for the blog. You know, for the blog. But that's it. These are simple. They're so good. They're so good, and they don't give me heartburn. Surprisingly enough, cheese doesn't give me heartburn. Figure that one out, science. I'll have this full recipe, the full post to go with the blog up. Stay safe, guys. The world is a super scary place. I love you guys. Thank you for watching.